Welcome to the Stuart C. Siegel Center as St. Christopher Saints are getting set to take on Deep Run in this championship game of the Times-Dispatch Invitational Tournament. Alongside Wes Featherstone, I'm Shelton Moss, and Wes, Saints coming to this game with a lot of momentum. What do they need to do to come out of here with a win tonight?
I feel like a major point of emphasis that they can really build on is offensive rebounding. I feel like Saints have done a really strong job with that, and if we keep with that tonight, we will come out of here with a win. Yeah,
talking about rebounding, Benedictine last night out-rebounded St. Chris 43-33. Saints won that game by 6 points, however. And we are getting set to go. Tip is up and won by St. Chris. Amir Bennett going against Curtis Cooper. Saints going to start out with possession first. This is uncharted territory for them. They've never been to the championship game of this tournament. They've also never been 8-0 in any season. Last year they were 6-0 before suffering their first defeat, as they're going to turn it over on their first possession. Georgie Pacheco brings it over the timeline for Deep Run.
St. Chris student section is always a major factor in this game.
And that shot is off. Nick Sherod skies for the board. Sherod loves to shoot the three. He's going to take a long one. Knocks it down. Great way to start this game if you're the Saints. Nick Sherod last season set the St. Chris record for three-pointers made and attempted in 1 year. Gets St. Chris off on the right foot.
Nick Sherod, a University of Richmond commit.
And a travel. That was number 3, DeMontez Oliver. Oliver committed to Campbell. He will go on to play Division I basketball next season. Saints forced their first turnover of the game. Coming into tonight, they were about plus 10 in the turnover margin. Jasper with the jump shot, can't get the roll, and number 5, Evan Clark, cannot save it, so the Saints will retain possession. Thompson up top. Down low, Bennett again. Gets it this time. 5-0 start for St. Chris. If you're Coach Jones, you got to be pleased with how the Saints have come out.
Oh, of course, Shelton.
Pacheco guarded by Thompson. Stop and pop in the lane. Nice shot there. Pacheco from Puerto Rico. He's actually a member of the Puerto Rican national basketball team, and he is one of the leading scorers on this team. Thompson doesn't get that one to roll, and there's going to be a foul called against Deep Run. Pacheco hurt his elbow in the second quarter of Deep Run's win yesterday against John Marshall. That was a big win for them, 63-59. But he appears to be fine as Petrie fires up a long three and hits. 2 long three-pointers have put the Saints out in front, 8-2 in the early going.
Alexander Petrie and Nick Sherod have been really the 2 stars of this team so far in the season.
Oliver thought about a three. This is Clark. Move inside. They lost it for a second, and Sherod comes up with it. The leading steal man for the Saints. Lead pass for Jasper, and he gets the roll. Thought it was going to go out for a second. And Coach Kurt Kassab wants time. The Saints have come out fired up. Forcing turnovers, leading to fast break points on the other end. We will get you back after a short break. Saints lead it 10-2. .520 and change left in the first quarter. Saints out to an early 8-point lead. 2 3-pointers from Alexander Petrie and Nick Sherod have provided for the Saints' 8-point lead. This is DeMontez Oliver guarded by Sherod. Oliver jumps it off for Clark. Evan Clark. Fadeaway jump shot. That's an air ball, but Deep Run gets the rebound. They still can't make it, and Sherod is there. And Jasper was going with a behind-the-back pass, but he threw it right to a Deep Run player. Now Clark jacks up a three. Excuse me, that's Oliver. Pacheco gets the board. He can't hit. Deep run still battling. Oliver again. This time it's good. Those are the second chance points that'll kill you if you're St. Chris. Benedictine did that to him a lot last night. Petrie. Oh my goodness. That was probably from 30 feet out, and Petrie hits it again.
Alexander Petrie, last game against Benedictine, had 26 points, 9 for 10 with his free throws.
Now 2 3-pointers for Petrie. And that was from NBA range. And the other way, Pacheco gets it to go. Nice move there by Petrie. Gets it over to Sherod. Jump shot in the lane, doesn't get it. Bennett fights for the board, goes right to Jasper. Petrie, kick out three, yes! Another timeout called by Coach Kurt Kasaba, and Petrie is on fire. What do you think has gotten into Alexander Petrie so far?
Alexander Petrie, honestly, I feel like he's always been like this. This night more than others, but he's always been an excellent three-point shooter.
Yeah, on the season, 37%. That leads the team. And Sherod, coming into today's action, only 29%. That's down by his standards, but Petrie has been picking up the slack. And you saw, I don't know if you could see down below us, but probably half the crowd in the section below us was on their feet. Cannot believe what they're seeing right now. Saints up 16-7. Petrie already with 9 points. Pacheco brings it over the timeline. He scored 16 points in the win over John Marshall, 13 of which came in the fourth quarter alone. All that despite being injured on the arm earlier in the second. Sherod there for the missed three-pointer. Gonna take it himself. That's too short. And deep runs there for the board. This is a very athletic deep run team. Lots of size. Pacheco backs it out. Now baseline jumper, that's off the mark. So the Wildcats not hitting their shots early on. Saints playing some good defense.
I feel like a major part of that is the Saints student section. Every game they come with a fire that is, it just does not go out. I mean, they're just putting pressure on the other team with however much they can.
You saw there Jasper off the dish from Thompson got fouled. He will have 2. And Jasper struggled at the line yesterday. He shot 1 of 4 in his free throws, but did a nice job of drawing contact and getting to the free throw line. He makes that one. Two of 2 at the line for Jasper. Good to see that after his free throw struggles earlier in the season. The Saints now up by 11. Oliver guarded by Jasper. Fires away from 3, and that is an air ball again. And it goes out of bounds. Oliver, the Campbell commit, had 10 Division I scholarship offers before deciding to commit to Campbell University. Scored 20 points against John Marshall in a come-from-behind effort. Sherod, that's off the mark. Saints hustle for the board, but Kamani Donovan comes up with it. Nice feed inside. That's Clark. Fakes, goes up, and gets the roll. First points of the contest for Evan Clark. Lead back to single digits. Crowd urging Petrie to shoot. Gets it off for Tazewell. Down low, Sherod. Working on Clark. One-handed floater in the lane, gets to go. That is a shot that is almost unstoppable. Donovan. No from 3. And Sherod is fouled. Sherod, the team's leading rebounder. Having a word with the official after that one. That's going to be the first on Clark and the third team foul against the Wildcats. Already under a minute left in the first quarter. Saints lead at 20-9. Petrie weaving his way in. Doesn't get that one, but he got his own board. Goes up again. Didn't get the foul call, and it goes out of bounds. Curtis Cooper, who started today's game, going to check in here for Kimani Donovan. Cooper, a 6'1" junior guard. Pacheco being hounded by Thompson. Somehow got that shot up, and he gets it to go. 10 seconds now left in the first quarter. Saints going to hold for the last possession. Alexander Petrie. Screen set here, goes inside, and he didn't get the contact, but Tazewell puts it up right before the buzzer expires. Coach Kassab looking for a foul call, and the Saints going to go up by 11 at the end of one. And Wes, Saints got out to a great start. What did you like from them in the first quarter?
You know, I really like, I've said this a lot, but the Saints student section is always a major part of defense. You can tell everyone here loves Sherod and Petrie, two major players here. Sherod's going to have, he's had a great career here at St. Chris. He's going to have a really good one at University of Richmond too.
So we'll get you back for the start of the second quarter after this. Saints lead it by 11. Back here for the start of the second quarter at the Stuart C. Siegel Center. Saints in the championship game of the 2015 Times-Dispatch Invitational Tournament, leading Deep Run by 11. These two teams, not very familiar with each other, have not met at all in the past decade. Two of the top teams in the state. Clark, pull-up jumper, no good. Another air ball. We've seen 3 of those tonight from the Wildcats. Jasper there for the board. Sherod, what's he going to do? Step back, fakes it, kick out. Petrie. Now back to Sherod, fires a 3. That's off the mark. O'Neal gets the board. Saints doing what they did not do much of yesterday evening. That's get offensive rebounds. Sherod going in strong. Didn't get it. Fighting for the board. Puts it up. Didn't get fouled. And they come away with nothing. Lots of contact there. Thought Sherod could have gotten the foul call. That shot is off by Curtis Cooper. O'Neal, who checked in at the start of the second quarter, gets that rebound. And that shot's off for Sherod. Neither team has scored thus far, 90 seconds through the second quarter. Saints with an 8-0 record. Deep Run comes in at 7-0. Drive inside here by Garrett Whitley is off the mark. Petrie, can he hit again? No.
So close.
The other way. That's Oliver with an easy 2. Saints have cooled down a bit. Here's a lead pass. Bennett, he slipped and fell and lost the ball. Probably would have been a travel if he had held on. Pacheco, another air ball. Now, did Sherod touch it? He said he did not. Not sure what's going on here with deep run. They've shot 4 air balls tonight.
They really need to fix that if they want to gain the lead here.
Alexander Petrie scored 26 points against Benedictine, and as you said, Wes, earlier, hit 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Saints overall did not shoot well as a team. Inside pass, Jasper, he was all alone, gets the easy 2. The Saints sophomore guard averaging 6 points in 26 minutes per game. He is a guy that Coach Jones always puts on the opposing team's best offensive player. Down low, Oliver. Nice shot there. St. Chris got here by defeating George with 75-60 back on Monday. They then beat Benedictine 68-62 yesterday, and for the first time in school history are in the championship game of this tournament. A few years ago they found themselves in the 3rd place game. That was back when Rodney Williams was playing for the Saints. Sherod was just a freshman. That's the farthest they've ever been before this year. And Coach Jones going to call a timeout here, not liking what he's seeing with this possession. Saints only 2 points in this quarter in 3.5 minutes. Now, what do you think they need to do to get back on the scoreboard?
Like you were saying earlier, offensive rebounding, something they really need to get a hold of. And
back in a moment, Saints lead it by 9. Saints have possession after a timeout, leading at 24-15. They scored 22 in the first quarter, only 2 so far in the second. Eric Thompson with the ball. Petrie pump fake. Deep run coming out to guard Sherod. Nice step back there by Petrie. Sherod. Oh my goodness. He is hot from long range.
Sherod has range.
Even in the NBA, I'm not sure if that probably would have been 3 or 4 feet behind the arc in the NBA. That is an incredible three-pointer. So difficult for teams to guard Sherod when they know he can shoot from anywhere inside 30 feet away from the basket. Pacheco. He has the answer. Georgie Pacheco starting to heat up. Petrie showing off the handles. Jasper forced towards the baseline. He'll stay with St. Chris as Tazewell checks in. He'll sub in for Noah O'Neill. Deep run, a comeback win last night over John Marshall. They were down 46-38 late in the third quarter. They went on a 15-0 run in the fourth quarter and came out with a 4-point win. Sherod fires away again, and that's no good. Not afraid to take those shots. Coach Jones gives them the opportunity to do so. Now under 3 minutes left in the first half. Cooper the missed shot. Petrie. He's got the hot hand, but he couldn't connect there. Ball goes out of bounds and will be awarded to a deep run. Evan Clark checks in for Curtis Cooper, who's played well. I mentioned earlier, Pacheco nicked his wrist or his elbow in the second quarter of last night's game, but he appears to be fine, and that's going to be a charge. Ned Tazewell drew the foul right there. Now, this is a college court, so there is a restricted arc right there, but does not apply in high school. There is no restricted arc. So Tazewell draws the foul, and the Saints have it up by 9. Jasper looking for the backdoor cut to Sherod. There was no lane. Coach Jones calling out the set. Now under 2 minutes left. St. Chris is 3-0 on a neutral court this season. Sherod again, yes!
Nick Sherod, an amazing player for St. Chris.
And I believe that's his third three-pointer today. Sherod, 33 points against George Wythe. And that shot is off. Rebounded by Oliver. He also had 33 points and 13 rebounds against Benedictine. For Sherod, it was his third straight game with at least 33 points and 11 rebounds. He had a 40-point, 11-rebound game against John Paulus. Eric Thompson comes up with a steal. 2-on-1 here. Kick out. Sherod gathers the ball for a second, and that shot was no good. He's falling away from 3. Oliver, nice pass there. And the layup is good by Harry Trappier. Trappier, a 6'5 senior. Cuts lead to 10. Now under a minute to go in a very fast-moving first half. Thompson looking for someone to give the ball off to. Finds Sherod down low. Tazewell going to post up here. Now kicks out for Petrie, and with 23 seconds left and counting, I think that Saints might try to hold for the last shot here. This is the first ever championship game appearance in the TDIT for both schools. Looking to capture their first title. 7 seconds, now 6. Petrie has to make a move here. Nowhere to go. Fires up a long 3.
Almost.
And he can't get it. Well, the Saints only scored 8 points after scoring 22 in the first quarter, scoring 8 in the second. And Wes, what are some things that St. Chris can improve on going into the second half?
The deep run defense is really obviously putting the pressure on the Saints. I feel like if they make the right passes, right decisions, they can get their shots in. They can come back from this.
Well, we'll get you back in about 10 minutes for the start of the second half. Saints lead at 30-20. Back here for the start of the third quarter. Saints leading deep run 30-20 in the championship round of the Times-Dispatch Invitational Tournament. Saints got out to a 22-11 first quarter lead. They were outscored 9-8 in the second quarter. And that ball out of bounds. Deep run will take over. Inside pass here, and a nice play right there by number 3, DeMontez Oliver. Oliver scored 20 points in the win over John Marshall. There's a shot going in for Amir Bennett. Bennett checking in on the score sheet for the first time today.
Amir Bennett, the tallest player on the St. Chris team.
Yeah, at 6'8". Pull-up jump shot here. I think it was a two-pointer. No good for Oliver. Sherod, tough shot in the lane, can't get it. Oliver scoops up the board. As a junior last season, Oliver averaged 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Pacheco gets that one to roll in. He began his career as a freshman at Deep Run and then transferred to Millwood as a sophomore and then came back to Deep Run as a junior. So he's been all over the place for the past couple seasons. Now a senior committed to Campbell. Bennett going to pull up for a jump shot again. That's too short. And a foul here against Deep Run. I think it was committed against Sherod. Not sure who they got it on. Inside pass, Petrie. Off the glass and in.
Alexander Petrie, a key player to this team.
Had a solid first half. And to my knowledge, he hit 3 3-pointers. Scored 28 points in the win over George Wythe back on Monday. Pacheco can't get it to go. There's Clark. Bennett fights for it. Saints, and Bennett comes up with it. Nice hustle there by Amir Bennett. And Jasper lost it off the feed from Thompson. Tough play in transition there. Thompson wasn't looking for it. Pacheco winds up for a 3. That's too strong. And the ball is lost. Curtis Cooper had it for a second. And that pass by Sherod is too strong for Jasper. So the play getting a little bit sloppy here. Saints now with 2 consecutive turnovers as we have 5 minutes and 17 seconds and counting left in the third quarter. Saints with a 10-point lead. They have not trailed in this game. Got out to a 8-2 lead in the early going. And they have not looked back. Offensive foul there against Pacheco. Bennett drew the charge. Second team foul on the Wildcats and also the second on Pacheco. Bennett over to Petrie. Another 3. That's off the mark, but Bennett's there for the board. He lost it, though, and he got stripped by Harry Trappier. Deep run got here by defeating Millwood 67-49 in the opening round, and then a win over John Marshall by 4 points. Sherod collects the rebound, brings it over the timeline. Pull up, long 3-pointer. That's an air ball, and Jasper can't save it in. Petrie trying to tell the ref it was tipped, but to no avail. Now the student section's taking some jabs at each other. You gotta like that. This is Oliver. Pacheco up top. Drives in. Step back jumper. That is no good. Bennett tipped it twice, and they say it went off of Trappier. And I can see Deep Run's argument there. I thought it went off of Bennett last. Either way, he needs to lock up on those defensive boards. Bennett over the summer received a scholarship offer from Longwood as his only offer. Still a junior this year. Tazewell in for Bennett at the last dead ball. Sherod posting up on Clark. Turn around, can't get the one-headed shot to go, but he will have 2 at the free throw line. That's going to go on Evan Clark. Sherod, a 74% free throw shooter. Struggled mightily from the free throw line against Benedictine, just 6 of 14.
Sherod with the 3rd highest free throw percentage behind Tazewell and Petrie.
And he can't connect on that one. Kimani Donovan, a Millwood transfer. Now to Trappier, stolen away by Sherod. Sherod, spin move in the lane, got hacked, and he has another trip to the charity stripe. Saints starting to intensify that defensive pressure. Up by 11, have a chance to increase their lead. Deep Run, coached by Kurt Kasab in his 3rd season. He has a 44-10 record at the school. He has taken this program to new heights. They went 20-3 a couple of years ago. Last year they were 17-7. They fell to Henrico in the 5A Conference 11 championship game this season, winning their games by an average of 26 points. But that has not been the case tonight, as they find themselves in a 13-point hole late in the third quarter. Donovan fires away from three. That's off the mark. But a rebound there for Trappier. Nobody saw Trappier coming in, and that's an easy two for the Wildcats senior forward. Tazewell down low, Sherod gathers it and gets fouled again. And that's the third foul he's drawn this quarter alone. Already the fifth team foul against the Wildcats, so two more, and the Saints will be shooting free throws the rest of this game. Tazewell down low, off the glass and in. 4 points now for Ned Tazewell, who was held in check, scoreless against Benedictine. Tazewell is senior captain this year, averaging a shade over 1 point per game. Donovan inside, nice shot off the glass and in. Donovan scored 7 points in the team's win over the John Marshall Justices. Sherod cranks up a three, and he got fouled as he was taking it. So that's going to be 3 free throws there. And now the sixth team foul against Deep Run. So that's big. Not only Sherod with 3 free throw attempts here, but the next foul will put the Saints in the bonus, and they'll be shooting free throws for the rest of this game.
First one by Sherod is good.
And if you're interested to know some other scores from today's games, Monacan beat Highland Springs 45-44 in the 7th place game earlier this morning. George Wythe defeated Millwood 61-57. That was in the 5th place game. Sherod with one more at the line. And he missed it. Again short, but Tazewell's there for the board. Uncharacteristically, Nick Sherod the past 2 games struggling from the charity stripe. O'Neal up top, guarded by Oliver, goes inside, and that's going to be a charge. Lost control himself, and Evan Clark drew the foul. A bit of a sarcastic cheer from the Deep Run fans. And that is actually the first team foul against the Saints this entire half. Cooper. Baseline, and I believe it was Donovan who stepped out as he was receiving that pass. 1:27 remains in the third quarter. Saints outscoring Deep Run 10-8 in this frame. Sherod gets a pass. Wide open three. That's off the mark. O'Neal goes up for the board, puts it off the glass and in. For Coach Jones, you got to love that hustle from O'Neal, getting that offensive rebound. Tazewell. Got to love the hustle by Tazewell, putting it up and in after getting that offensive board. And that's going to be 6 points now for Tazewell. So he's done well off the bench in this game. Cooper thought about a three, now kicks it out. Pacheco, baseline three, he's got it. Can't leave him open or he will cost you. Georgie Pacheco, a member of the Puerto Rican national basketball team, has lived in the U.S. for the past couple of years. And he came to Deep Run as a freshman. Petrie with 12 seconds left, going to hold it out here for the last possession of the third quarter. Saints up 11. They've led by as many as 14. Petrie going inside. Off the glass, what a move. The finger roll by Alexander Petrie, and that is going to do it for the third quarter. Wes, you have to like what you've seen from the Saints in the third. They came out of the locker room with a lot of hustle on defense.
Yeah, definitely. Saints with a commanding lead here at the end of the third.
Back for the start of the fourth quarter. DeMontes Oliver inbounds it to Georgie Pacheco, who will set up the Wildcat offense. Saints have amassed a 13-point lead, and right off the bat, that's a foul, I think, on Evan Clark.
Lane violation.
It's not a call you see often. In any event, Petrie will take it over the half-court stripe. Finds O'Neal in the right foul line extended. Up top, Jasper. Now Sherod. Gonna go inside, and Tazewell got a nice roll on that one. Tipped it up, and hoping it goes in, and it did. Now 8 points for Ned Tazewell. Not a guy that gets on the score sheet very often. Pacheco has a pretty jumper. Cuts the lead back to 13. Against Benedictine, the Saints shot 49% from the field. They held the Cadets to just 36% shooting. As Jasper dumps it off for Petrie. Goes inside, one-handed shot, doesn't get the bounce. Now Pacheco the other way. And that three rims out. Would have been a big bucket for the Wildcats. Could have cut the lead to 10 there. Instead, the Saints have a chance to expand on their 13-point lead. Hoping to win their first ever Times-Dispatch Invitational Tournament championship. Playing here at the Siegel Center. We played at the Clover Hill High School last night. Petrie in no rush at all. Guarded by Cooper. Goes inside. Stop and pop in the lane. Too strong. Tazewell fights for the board. Goes off, out of bounds, and off of Pacheco. Trappier, who's done well in the offensive glass, will check in here for Cooper. Petrie wearing that number 21. He wore number 5 last season. Decided to switch it up this year. Nice moves there. He's going to kick it back out for Sherod. Sherod going inside. He got rejected from behind, I believe, by Trappier. The other way. And that shot is off the mark. Saints can't get it. Donovan gets his own rebound, but he had it stolen away. 2-on-0 break. Petrie. Reverse layup off the glass and in. Count it, and the foul.
Petrie has some amazing moves.
An incredible display of athleticism by the Saints junior captain. And that equals the Saints' largest margin of this game. 15 points. Chance to make it 16. As Alexander Petrie, an 85% free throw shooter, tops on the team. But he can't hit. It was too short. But there's O'Neal with the rebound off the tip from Tazewell. Saints were out-rebounded by 10 against the Cadets last night, but that has not been the case today. And Coach Jones going to get a timeout here. Not happy with what he's seeing on this offensive set. And we'll take a quick break with them. Saints lead it 48-33, and just over 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 5 minutes and change is all that remains in the fourth quarter. Saints have amassed a 15-point lead their largest of the night, trying to expand upon that margin. Tazewell hounded by Pacheco. Gets it over to Bennett on the top of the circle. Down low, Tazewell. Pump fake, got stripped, no foul call. Pacheco going in.
Tazewell hustled up the court there to get the block.
And Pacheco drew the foul call. Did not make the basket, however. So he will go to the line for 2. And to my knowledge, I don't believe Deep Run has shot a free throw all night. Pacheco short on the first. So both teams struggling from the free throw line. Last night against John Marshall, Pacheco hit 6 of his 6 free throw attempts in the final 2 minutes of the game and sealing that win over John Marshall. Scored 13 points in the fourth quarter alone after injuring his elbow in the second quarter. Now the Wildcats going to put some backcourt pressure. Saints have to get over the timeline, and they do with Bennett for Petrie. Nice job of beating that press. Petrie goes in, one-handed shot off the glass, no, and Pacheco is there. Donovan goes in hard, drew the blocking foul. Well, if you're Deep Run and Coach Kassab, you've got to like the aggressiveness that the Wildcats have shown in the past couple possessions, getting to the line where they have not been for almost the entirety of this contest. The referee wiping up some perspiration on the floor. Donovan at the line, a 6'1" junior guard. Again, short in the first. And he goes 1 for 2. And Coach Jones going to make a substitution here. Eric Thompson going in for Ned Tazewell. Coach Hamlin Jones in his 7th season at the helm of St. Christopher's basketball. Going to use a smaller lineup here. And again, we have some sweat on the floor. The official has to wipe that up. Jasper to inbound. The Wildcats have Clark, Donovan, and Oliver in the front court pressing. Petrie, quadruple team there, and they're going to get a foul there. Evan Clark was calling for a travel, and I believe if refs had let that play for just about half a second longer, they would have gotten Petrie for steps.
You can see the Deep Run fans are not happy with all the fouls being called on their team.
Eighth team foul against the Wildcats. Petrie 1-1 hits the first. That's a big one. And also, you got to say it's pretty big that the Saints have held the Deep Run student section pretty quiet most of this night.
Definitely, yeah.
Petrie, clutch free throws there. Just like that, Tazewell back in for Thompson. Coach Jones has lots of options, a very deep bench. Guys like Eric Thompson, Noah O'Neill, Tazewell, Jasper, all constitute very solid rotation. Donovan cranks up a 3 and hits. And immediately Coach Kassab going to call a timeout here and drop a play. The lead is 12 with just under 4 minutes left. We'll get you back after a short break. Justin Jasper to inbound as the Wildcats are applying full court pressure. Thompson, cross court for Petrie. Got to get over the timeline, and Petrie lost it. Donovan with it now. Goes inside, can't get the layup, and Jasper there's for the board. Great defense there by the Saints sophomore. Down low, Bennett, pump fake, goes up, and what do they call here? I think they're going to get a foul against Deep Run. Could have been a travel because Bennett almost took steps. So Bennett has 2 at the line. 9th team foul against the Wildcats. Bennett, a 56% free throw shooter. A couple weeks back against Norfolk Academy, Bennett hit 5 of his 6 free throw attempts. And that helped the Saints get a win over the Bulldogs on the road. Hoping to preserve their 8-0 record. They've only played 1 home game so far. That was against George Wythe. Bennett too strong on the first free throw. And Pacheco is there for the board. Donovan. That's a 3-pointer. Just like that, it is a 9-point game.
Saints really letting up the lead here.
Sherod, double teamed. Finds Bennett, who gets it over to Petrie. Petrie, Jasper skies for that pass. Goes off of Bennett's hands and out of bounds. Well, this is the time of the game where Coach Jones really needs to have his best ball handlers on the court. Don't be surprised if he makes a sub for Bennett sometime soon. Pacheco over the timeline, guarded by Thompson.
St. Chris from across the court trying to put pressure on deep run here.
Donovan goes in, reverse layup. It is a 7-point game. An 8-0 run here. Saints were up by as many as 15. Petrie. And Saints going to hold it here. Sherod has to watch that 5-second call. Now over to Petrie. 2 minutes, 25 seconds, all that remains. Both teams looking for their first ever TDIT championship. Sherod. Not going to go anywhere with it. And nearly lost it. They're going to get a foul against Trapier, much to the dismay of the deep run bench. Now it is high school basketball, so there is no shot clock. Saints could theoretically hold it until the end of the game, so long as they make an offensive move within 5 seconds. If the ref feels like no progress is being made offensively, he can start that 5-second clock, and the Saints will have to do something with the ball. In the meantime, Nick Sherod has 2 free throws at the line because that most recent foul against Trapier was the Wildcats' 10th team foul of the half. Big free throw there.
Sherod, a 74% free throw shooter.
Averaging 29.3 points a game, 10.3 rebounds, almost 3 assists. He is the Saints team leader in almost every statistical category. 2 huge free throws. Lead back up to 9. Pacheco letting it roll. Off a screen, Pacheco going inside, step back jumper, no. And Saints can't get the rebound, but Bennett with a huge block. Clark fighting for it, he gets it, but he throws it away and Sherod is there. Evan Clark had a chance to cut it to 7, but he lost the ball. Now Sherod being hounded. Gets it over to Petrie. Now they can set up their offense here. Petrie dumps it off for Tazewell. Now back to Petrie. 1:30. Time not on the Wildcat side. And Sherod is fouled by DeMontez Oliver.
Sherod will head back up to the line.
Don't go anywhere after this game. We will be with you for the trophy presentation, regardless of who wins. Hopefully the Saints with a 9-point lead. Under 90 seconds left in the game. And Oliver got tabbed with his 4th personal, so he'll come in, replaced by Chris Dean. Trappier also coming out. Dean with his first action of the night. He is a 6'3" sophomore forward. Sherod hits the first free throw, and that's 3 in a row for him. So after a tough shooting night from the line last night, 6 of 14, has it going right now. Saints back up by double digits. And a timeout called here by Coach Kurt Kassab for deep run. We'll talk over some strategy and we'll take a quick break. 1:23 left in the game. Saints lead at 54-43. .83 seconds left in the championship game of the Times-Dispatch Invitational Tournament. The Saints have an 11-point lead. Inbound goes to Pacheco. He shot well from 3-point range tonight. Dumps it off for Donovan. Donovan, long 3-pointer. Off the mark. Sherod can't get it. And putback is up and in for Curtis Cooper. Sherod, lead pass. Bennett all alone. Bennett going in for the slam.
Slam dunk by Amir Bennett.
Pacheco the other way. No.
Saints
Bennett
fans are loving this.
skies for the board. What a spark he has provided for St. Chris. Almost a double dribble, and Saints turn it over. Goes in the hands of Chris Dean. The deep run turns it over right back. Some sloppy play here. Sherod has it. Going to settle things down over to Petrie. 25 seconds left, and Saints are smelling victory, but they turn it over here. And an easy layup for Kimani Donovan. Sherod. And it's going to be fouled by Dean. 2 more free throws, and it looks like that'll do it.
The Saints will move to 9-0 in the season.
Yes, and they will also win their first ever Times-Dispatch Invitational Tournament championship, continuing their hot streak. As some fans start to file out here. Sherod, good on the first. Again, don't go anywhere. We'll have the trophy presentations for you as Coach Jones makes a line change of substitutions here. Mason Glasgow, Will Bird, Dirk Steed, and Jack Essex all into the game. Subbed in for Petrie, Jasper, Tazewell, and Bennett. Sherod is one more at the line as both teams have emptied their bench. No good on the second. Easy layup there for number 15. That's John Peden. And that is going to do it. The Saints, for the first time in school history, they are champions of the Times-Dispatch Invitational Tournament. What a performance. Wes, you got to say, coming into this game, they knew what a challenge Deep Run was going to be. How impressed were you that they were able to come away with such a convincing victory?
Very, actually. You could see at the end, Deep Run was trying to put pressure on the Saints defensively, but the Saints did not let it get to them. They continued scoring, and they came away with the win.
Again, don't go anywhere. We'll have the trophy presentations in a minute after a short break. Trophy being carted out onto the center court as the Saints defeat the Deep Run Wildcats 57-49. They improved to 9-0 on the season, headed into a 5-day break for Christmas as they will play in the Henrico Hoops tournament in a few days. And talking about this game, Wes, Saints got out to a great start. Were you surprised at all at how easily they were able to take advantage of deep run, a team that, is arguably one of the top 5 teams in the area?
Yeah, honestly, I really wasn't surprised. I knew the Saints had it in them. They did, and they came away with the win today. Very great win for St. Chris.
Nick Sherod and Alexander Petrie, of course, leading the way for the Saints. And both teams will be presented with the runner-up trophies and championship trophies. Deep Run will fall to 7-1 on the year. And, talking more about this game, who do you think stood out to you in particular for the Saints?
I got to say, Alexander Petrie at the beginning of the game was getting hot with the three-pointers. He just could not miss one.
Yeah, and talking about, some of the bench guys, Amir Bennett provided a lift, along with Ned Tazewell and Noah O'Neal. And Tazewell actually finished with 8 points. Got a couple nice offensive boards that led to some second chance points. Amir Bennett also had a big two-handed slam late in this game that really sealed the deal for St. Chris.
Here we go with the trophy presentation.
Deep Run first up. They will receive the runner-up trophy. And this Deep Run team, they are very talented. Now coming in today, Saints were ranked number 5 in the Times-Dispatch poll among all area teams. And you got to say that ranking's definitely got to go up in the next couple of days, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. The Saints really proved themselves to be a top 3 team here, honestly.
Yeah, and John Marshall ranked number 3. Deep Run beat John Marshall last night by 4, so the Saints defeat Deep Run by 8 tonight, and clearly they've shown to everyone that they can play with the best teams in this state. As you see, the Wildcats accept their trophy. Have to commend the job that they did. Down big late in the third quarter, but never gave up.
Another round of applause for the Wildcats of Deep Run.
Kamani Donovan, Georgie Pacheco, and Curtis Cooper, along with DeMontez Oliver, leading the way for Deep Run. And now St. Chris about to receive the championship trophy, led by Nick Sherod, who will touch it first. Great moment here. This is a tournament that has been in existence for 21 years. The Saints had never even made it to the championship game of this tournament before tonight. And right away, they capture their first trophy.
Before we announce our all-tournament team and the MVP, we have a special presentation from our sponsor, Erosty. Erosty is a healthcare provider that works for...
Saints now posing for the team picture, and they're about to announce the all-tournament team. And Wes, I don't think it's any doubt that Nick Sherod and Alexander Petrie, of course, have to be named to this tournament team.
Yeah, I really think so. They've really shown, obviously it's St. Chris, them to be the leaders of the team. I feel like they really proved themselves in this entire tournament, deserve to be on that team.
Our award ceremony continues with the announcement of the boys' all-tournament team. Members of the media and Times-Dispatch Invitational Tournament officials have voted for the all-tournament players and the MVP of the 2015 tournament. Presenting the awards is Keith Walker of Kroger Stores and Danny Finnegan of the Times-Dispatch. Players, as you hear your name, please come forward to accept your trophy. From John Marshall, Jeremy Carter Shepard.
Jeremy Carter Shepard, the first honoree to the all-tournament team, plays for John Marshall. Saints saw him last year. They defeated John Marshall 60-57 in a big win last February. And Alexander Petrie now to a round of applause.
Petrie really deserves this.
From George Witt High School,
Petrie receives his trophy. Malik White, the next honoree. Saints had a tough time with him. He scored 24 points in the team's win over George Witt. He really gave them all that they could handle, but he just didn't have enough help. And Georgie Pacheco, fourth honoree. No doubt who the next one's going to be.
And your most valuable player from St. Christopher's, Nick Sherod.
None other than the Saints senior captain, Nick Sherod.
Everyone could see this one coming.
Incredible performance by Sherod. Came in averaging almost 30 points a game. Gets a nice handshake from his fellow teammates and other players.
These players, all the teams, fans, thank you for coming out to the Times-Dispatch Invitational Tournament.
Well, that is going to do it from the Siegel Center. And, Wes, looking ahead towards the schedule, the Saints have a big tournament, Henrico Hoops tournament, coming up in about 5 days. And if the schedule works out right, they could face Trinity. So how big a test do you think that's going to be for this team?
That'll be a big game, both mentally and physically. St. Chris and Trinity, it's always a great rivalry to watch.
For sure. So that is going to do it from the Siegel Center. Alongside Wes Featherstone and Shelton Moss, we want to thank you all for tuning in with us. Once again, final score, Saints defeat Deep Run 57-49.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.